All right, folks, welcome to Thursday night here in the iNRS Racing Series. And tonight we are at Pocono for the highpoint.com 200. I'm Rick Souza here in the booth, and you've got me here tonight. Right now, Jeff is on his way back. He hasn't been able to make it to the studio. He'll probably be joining us probably about halfway through tonight's event. But right now, you've got me. So we've got about a minute and a half left of practice right now. We'll get you some race info here in a bit, and then we'll go into qualifying, and then the drivers will take a 5-minute break for their drivers meeting, and then we'll get on track. So right now here at Pocono, you've got Lucas Gortman with the fastest time posted so far. Austin Wheeler, Lucas Whitehead, Corey Bunch, and Jordan Wenzel are the top names right now in practice times. Of course, that will be a whole lot different once we get underway. This is a very interesting track. If you're not familiar with Pocono, it's sometimes referred to as the Tricky Triangle. It's got 3 corners. Each one has, when the course was created, the developer picked out 3 of his most favorite corners and combined that into the track. So you've got one corner that is Trenton Speedway, one corner is Indianapolis, and another is the Milwaukee Mile. So all of that has come together to form Pocono, one of the most exciting tracks on the circuit today. Are just a few seconds away from qualifying, and we'll carry that. Of course, if you're familiar with iRacing, qualifying happens concurrently, so it's all virtual, so the drivers are out there at the same time getting in their laps. Now, at this track, the way this works is the fastest lap is typically the first lap here at Pocono. Drivers will put up their best time in that first lap. Second lap is there as well if something goes wrong, but we'll see. We're about to go right into qualifying. All right, waiting for drivers. See if we can get someone here. All right, first driver we've got on track is Matt Parasini in that 24. As he gets his first lap is the warm-up. Then once he crosses that start-finish line, that next lap will count as his first lap. Watching, he's really taking this, doing well so far. Let's see if we can get some data here as the best time comes up. Hey, Jeff, welcome to the booth. That was good.
Man, I feel really stupid.
Well, it's all good. It's all good. Welcome. We're just underway with practice right now. Folks, thanks for tuning in to the IWM broadcast of the iNRS highpoint.com 200. I'm Rick Souza here in the booth with Jeff Deeney. And right now, practice times are beginning to flow in here. You're watching Matt Persini on track at the moment, but a lot of good times are beginning to flow in so far. All right, Coriana so far has put up the fastest time so far. get my screen shared for you there, Jeff. That may help a bit.
Thank you. There we go.
All right, times are still flowing through. Austin Wheeler now has put up the fastest number so far, and we'll get you the official grid once we can complete the drivers' meeting. That's typically what we have to wait for. Looking at other drivers who are still on the track right now, still qualifying. Lucas Whitehead is out there right now in the 33.
And Austin Wheeler's turned in a pretty good time so far. His last lap was 53.8, and that leads the field right at this point by maybe a half a tenth over Corey Ennis. So these guys are getting it wound up here.
Absolutely. All right, so we'll let qualifying finish up, and while we're doing that, we'll talk a little bit about what's in store for you tonight. Thank you for tuning in to our broadcast. But here's some information about tonight's event. You've got 80 laps. There are no quick repairs tonight. Pit road speed is 55 miles an hour. There are 5 sets of tires, 75% fuel. It is 70 degrees air temp, but 101 on the track. So it's going to be a little bit warm on the track. But this is a 2.51 mile oval track, which here's an interesting fact. If you're within 10 or 15 seconds of that leader, this track affords you the ability to dive down onto pit road. If you execute a good pit stop, you can actually make it back out and actually not go a lap down.
Yeah, that can be really advantageous at different points in the race. If sometimes you get out there, you go a lap down, then a caution comes out, and you're stuck there. But being able to get in and get off a pit road is I mean, that's just a very, very positive experience for guys, and they will be trying to do that tonight if we have several green flag pit stops. One of the things I like about this track, and actually in real life, Pocono was where I saw my very first live NASCAR race, and that was so many years ago. The track, well, not the track, but the grandstands and the grounds have changed considerably since I was there. It was probably 30 some years ago, but the track is still the same. It's that tricky triangle, they call it, because it's a very unique shape. There's only 3 corners on this one, hence the name triangle. And every corner is different. So these guys, they have their work cut out for them tonight. Their car may handle great in one turn and not so great in another one.
Yeah, it's just a fabulous track. I was saying earlier that this track was modeled after 3 different tracks: Milwaukee Mile, um, Indianapolis, and oh gosh, it's a Trenton Speedway. That's the third
Okay.
corner. So, absolutely. So while we're thinking about that, let's cover quickly the current standings in the iNRS Racing Series. Austin Wheeler, Lucas Gortman, Jordan Wenzel, Corey Bunch, Corey Ennis, Lucas Whitehead, and Dakota LaRue have all punched their tickets in, and Austin Wheeler, 4 wins, really leads that. After that, it's a points battle, and at that cut line, it's pretty close.
It really is. You get down there, look, you see Matthew Parasini's only 7 points to the good over Joseph Mossow in 17th spot. So he's 7 points below the cut line, and that's really relatively easy to make up if you have a good race. Vince Burns has a little bit tougher battle. He's 22 out. Jeffrey Ramsdale's 25 out. And then in 20th spot, Anthony Japs is 59 points out. He's got the toughest road to hoe right now, but Matthew Parasini hanging on, and Joseph Massa right behind him. He's there. That'll be a battle to watch tonight to see how those guys do against each other.
Yeah, that should be a great battle. All right, let's take another look here. Let's put the standings away, but let's talk about the keys to tonight's race.
Now, the first one there, right side tires. This track is like we talked about. It's very interesting, very different, very long front straightaway. But taking care of your right side tires, I think, Rick's going to be key tonight.
Absolutely. Certainly, to what I expect to see is, a lot of these guys will take care of their tires at the front part of the stint, and then they'll be able to leverage that in the back. Being able to take care of your tires is critical.
Absolutely. Second one is pit strategy. Rick mentioned earlier that it is possible if you're close enough to the leader to be able to pit and come back out again and stay on the lead lap. So guys, they'll be playing that strategy, but then the other part of the strategy is when do the cautions fly? And where do they fly in relation to the fuel strategy that you're running? And there's all sorts of things that kind of mesh together right there that are going to make this very interesting.
Yeah, we're kind of figuring there's about 30 or so laps per tank of fuel, somewhere thereabouts. But obviously that changes a bit about shifting and exactly how you drive. But finally, qualifying, man, it is this is one of those tracks with this Gen 7 car. You really want to get up at the front.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems like more and more in a lot of our races, qualifying plays such an important part. It gets tough to pass, and Pocono's no exception to that. It's a very tough to pass on track, and it's like we talked about the corners being each one being different. You may have an advantage in one corner and then lose it in the next corner. So,
Yep.
getting up front, starting up front, and being able to stay up front is definitely a key to the race.
All right, with that, drivers' meeting has concluded. We're waiting for the drivers to get on the grid. Oh, here we go. All right, drivers will begin to grid up, and with that, we have our grid. Let's go ahead and bring that up.
There we go. And Austin Wheeler has the pole officially. Austin's in that 48 machine. Next to him, second is Corey Ennis. Third is Jordan Wenzel. Fourth, Lucas Gortman. Fifth, Corey Bunch. Sixth, Eddie Mossau Jr. 7, Jordan Booth, our winner from last week, or 2 weeks ago. Tyler Lamb is in 8th spot there in the 99 machine. 9th is Eric Jeffers. 10th is Jacob Mossau. 11th, Matt Parasini. And 12th is Austin Walton.
All right, sitting in 13th is Garrett Walden. 14th is John Ledger. 15th is Ty Bostic. Dakota LaRue finds himself in 16th. Tony Japs in 17th with Joe Musso in 18th. Scott Thomas in 19th and Shane Trotter in 20th. Michael Whitley Jr. in 21st. Jeff Ramsdale 22nd. Mike Wheel in 23rd. Ron Fitting in 24th. 25th is Bradley Reese. Vince Burns, Lucas Whitehead, and Christopher Cash closes out our field for tonight.
You see the cars rolling off the grid there, heading out onto the track. They'll make one warm-up lap here. The pace car will come in, coming off turn 3, no turn 4 here, and then they'll be headed down that long pond straight, headed for the start-finish line and the green flag.
All right, we have got a total of 28 drivers in tonight's field. It is a full packed field tonight here in the iNRS Racing Series. Austin Wheeler will be in charge.
Yep, you see that 48 car of Austin Wheeler leading us to the pole. or leading us to the green flag, rather. He has the pole position. Going through turn 2 there. That's a very tight but yet very fast corner. And what I was learning on TV today is the back end of the car gets very light in turn 2, and it becomes difficult to hang on to that. You've got to lift a little bit to get the car set up for the corner, and then get back to the gas as quickly as you can, but not too quickly, so that it forces the back end of the car around.
Yep, that second turn is modeled after the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And here we go, green flags in the air. A lot of jockeying for position here as we enter in that first corner, 3 wide.
Wow, that's maybe 4 wide when you get back a little bit. That's the one corner that's got some good banking to it. So that corner, all 3 corners here are fairly fast.
Wrecking.
Big wreck near the front.
A 77 going around. I could be wrong on that.
Yeah, he's falling backwards pretty quickly. That 77's Corey Bunch. Looks like he's got it back underway again. He was all the way down to about 19th. Looks like he ended up around 12th.
It's a huge wreck. Lots of drivers involved. Let's see if we can bring that back on replay. Didn't even get the first lap completed underway. Let's look back. Looking back, see the 77's in the center. He came down. Well, I say that. I want to say it was he that came down. Let's look at that real
40
quick.
Looked like the 41 came up a little bit too. 41 is Jordan Booth, last week's winner. That's tough break for him this early in the race. Oh, no, maybe not.
Yeah, it looks like it was just could have been both drivers kind of looking for the same thing. The 77 thinking he was clear, but unfortunately he was not. And this happened right in front of the entire field.
Oh,
41
you see there.
Big contact with the 41 on the wall. See John Ledger
Several
slipping
cars
by.
hitting to that outside barrier.
24 is spinning up there. Still more contact. That's the 6th. The 18
got a little piece. 26 got into the 77. Hopefully that didn't do too much damage to him. 17 hits that inside wall.
Lots of contact.
Yeah. We have several cars in the pits. Jordan Booth took that hard shot into the outside safer barrier. He's in the pits right now, hopefully going to be able to get some repairs done, although that engine may be toast after that kind of a hit. Eddie Mossow Jr. in the 26, also in the pits, and Corey Bunch in the 77, who was there at the beginning of that incident, is also in the pits.
That's unfortunate. 3 very good racers. We've seen them consistently be successful here now in the pits. Some of our drivers are electing to come in about half the field to come down onto pit road. See the 19 of Ledger, Jacob Musso, Dakota LaRue, Jeff Ramsdell, Mike Wheel, Matt Parasini, the 24. He was involved in that incident a bit. Good time to check and see just what level of damage he may have on that car.
Looks like the front, about front 14 or 13 stayed out. Everybody else coming in, getting some fuel, maybe some tire. Wouldn't think they put tires on now though.
No, looks like they're all got topped off for fuel, and there are a number of drivers who are taking some extended time in the pits because you can here. This is one of the unique features of this track is that because of the length of the backstretch, and by the time you get back around, if you've got a minute or 2 of damage, you can get that repaired.
Yeah, absolutely. The last lap for a lot of these guys was in the 120s or 130s. So, yeah, you can easily stay in there for over a minute.
When they get back under speed, those lap times should be sub 1 minute, somewhere about 55 or so seconds around. So, but that being said, we'll do a take two on here. Corey Ennis will be right now. He is going to be the control car, kind of flopped with Austin Wheeler, so they'll be side by side as we go back at some point. Right now, where caution is still out, lights are still on the pace car, so next time by, we should get the one to go.
That caution was really good for some of these front runners right now. It was very good for Ty Bostic in the 22. He gained 10 spots. Tony Japs gained 11. Shane Trotter 13. Bradley Reese is the big winner at this point, 17 spots in that 36 Chevrolet. Joe Mossow is up on 9 spots. Ron Fitting 14. Vince Burns 15. Christopher Cash, if you remember from the beginning, he started last, but he's all the way up to the 14th spot right now. So
yeah, so
very beneficial.
Yeah, we can debate whether coming in at that after one lap and topping off for fuel was beneficial or not. You know, a lot of these drivers gave up a lot of positions to do that. So, but that being said, you know, it's their race. We'll see how it all plays out. Everybody is back out. All drivers are back on the track. We don't know exactly what the condition of their cars are. I think that 41 of Jordan Booth, he's working his way around. He's going back down the pit road. He still has issues. You can see that
him
nose
get a little wiggly under braking too, trying to get woed up.
That nose is toast.
Yeah. And aero is important this track with that long straightaway on the front. His only hope is to tuck in behind somebody and hope that they can break the air for him.
Well, he's hoping on that his crew can get that damage banged out and get him back on the track. All right, we're about to go. Go ahead.
We were talking about lap times. That lap time, last lap under yellow was 2 minutes. So as these guys take the green, that gives them under yellow flag conditions like we talked earlier, gives them the ability to get some repair work done.
All right, Corey Ennis elected to take the outside, and he's door to door with the 48 of Austin Wheeler. Just his nose is poking out just a little bit here as we get onto the backstretch.
Yeah, Lucas Gortman and Jordan Wenzel trying to mix it up with those two in the front, but so far Corey Ennis is holding out there by a couple car lengths.
This is one of those tracks where clean air matters the most, and with that 27 being out there out front, he's able to take advantage of that.
Yep, absolutely. And you'll see the guys behind him, if they're close enough to him anyway, they will not run in his tire tracks through the corner. They're going to want to get offset to one side or the other, get a little bit of, you can see that second place car of Lucas Gortman there who passed Austin Wheeler. He moved out to the right a little bit so he could get some air on the front of his car, keep that nose down and keep that car from pushing. Ooh, nice move to the inside there.
Yeah, that's a 16 of Lucas Gortman. One of the things that is certainly here that we've learned with the recent updates that have come out, if you're able to stick your nose up to the bumper of the car in front of you and tuck in, you can really take the air off the back of that rear spoiler, and that car will get really unsettled. See, like the 48 is doing that right now.
Yeah, and on that long straightaway, you can actually get a pretty decent draft.
As you just saw the 27 take back over.
Yep. Yeah, we could, if these guys stay bunched up here at the front. Ooh, little contact with the wall from that 16 of Lucas Gortman.
Oh, caution's out again.
Oh, my.
Looks like there's a big wreck in the back here. There's a parking lot back there.
Oh, wow.
Number of drivers involved. See the 97, the 19, the 96. So that's Dakota LaRue, John Ledger, Michael Whitley Jr., Mike Wheel, Jeff Ramsden, and Lucas Whitehead all appear to be involved in that incident here at lap 8. Definitely see some contact up there. See the 24 back up, and all of a sudden everybody gets collected. 96.
Is it the 77? No, 97 there.
Yeah, let's go
Okay.
back to the 24 here. This is where it all started. See the 96 of Mike Wheel behind. There's contact actually in. Yeah, it's actually in front of the 24.
Yep. 97 gets loose. I can't tell from this angle if he had help, but then the 24 gets into the back of the 34 there, and that just sends everybody for a ride.
Yep. So if you the 97's right there behind Michael Whitley Jr. All it takes is these guys are moving so fast. That contact there.
Yep. That car came up.
And he slowed up because now he's out of the throttle. Unfortunately, the 24 just ran right up on top. He just had no place to go, and that collects everybody.
Well, not a very fun start for these drivers.
Nope.
Gonna have some guys upset here. You see more cars going into the pits.
Well,
nope, faking.
Or it's just faking out. That's nope.
Yeah.
You thought I was going in, but no, I'm not.
Yeah. That 24, Matt Parasini, was in the pits. He's back out now, but he's all the way down at 25th. Got Corey Bunch, who was involved in that first one, that first incident on lap 1. He's back in 26th. Eddie Massa Jr.'s down a lap. Down a lap, and Jordan Booth's down 5 laps. Back in the pits again as well. A lot of guys from that accident are in the pits right now. Garrett Walden, John Ledger, Dakota LaRue, Michael Whitley Jr., Jeff Ramsdell, Mike Wheel, and I don't know if we mentioned Lucas Whitehead, Matt Parasini, all those guys in the pits, along with those that we mentioned earlier.
Yep, and if you're following, Jordan Booth is still in the pits trying to get repairs made. And it may not be possible.
Now. Yeah. That a lot of times when you go into a wall that hard and that with that much frontal angle, it tears your motor up, and you either don't have a motor left that blows, or it runs rough, or it will run for a little while and then give up the ghost. So I think Jordan Booth has lost his possibility of being a repeat winner tonight, but he's hanging in there, still in the pits, still trying to get work done and trying to get back out here before he loses too many more laps.
All right, pace car should turn its lights off as it crosses the start and finish line. And we'll be going back to green flag racing. You see those drivers there who came out of pit road to stay ahead of the field. They'll make their way back around at full speed to try and catch up to the back.
Yeah, so right now we still have just the same 2 cars, Eddie Massa Jr. and Jordan Booth, that are not running on the lead lap. Everybody else made it back out in time, and like you said, Rick, they're playing catch up, which on this track's not a problem. They won't have any trouble catching up to the field before we go green again.
All right, as these drivers head into turn 3, Well, actually, the main pack is headed down the backstretch into the tunnel turn. That is modeled after Indianapolis, and then they'll make the turn towards the third turn here on this track, which is modeled after the Milwaukee Mile as they head towards the start-finish line.
The track in Pocono has been owned by the same family for many years now too. They've done a great job at increasing the seating there, increasing the camping. It's a great place to camp, from what I'm told. You see a lot of the RVs there in the infield and outside the track as well. So it's a great place to watch a race. Although if you're in the grandstands, that turn 2 is a long way off.
All right, coming out of turn 3, headed to the start-finish line. And we are back underway, back in green flag conditions here. Corey Ennis jumps out to a good start. See Jordan Wenzel and Austin Wheeler door to door there.
Guys spreading out more than I would have assumed on that front stretch. I would think they'd be trying to catch a draft, although right in this part of the track, they're sorry, I started watching and lost my train of thought there, but
a lot of bagging is a battle. Do you see the 28 car?
Wall contact there.
Yep. So the 20.
See how that wall comes out a little bit. The safer barrier comes out and then goes back in again. Turn 3 is such a long, flat turn. It takes a special approach to be able to get through that turn quickly. And it is the most important track to get through quickly because you have this huge, long straightaway in front of you. And you want to come off of turn 3 with as much momentum as you can possibly have. So you'll see some guys lift early, stay out of the gas, and then get back into it before some of the others. Some guys try a different approach and try to get through there. If you push it too hard coming through turn 3, you're going to end up in that outside wall. The car is going to just lose downforce on the front end, and you'll just start pushing right up because there's no banking to hold you down.
That's right. That third turn is, again, modeled after Milwaukee Mile, and that means it only got 6 degrees of banking, which is barely noticeable, whereas the first turn has 14 degrees of banking.
Yeah, over twice the amount. So big difference.
And carrying all that speed too.
Oh yeah.
3, yeah. So Corey Ennis continues to lead here. Let's go ahead and bring up our data. Corey Ennis up on top, Lucas Corbin, Jordan Wenzel, Austin Wheeler, and Ty Bostic is your top 5. Now you may be asking yourself, why are some drivers outlined in red and others with blue? Well, the red indicates that driver has won a race and has punched his ticket into the playoffs. Now the playoffs are about 9 events away, but it's ticking down.
Yep, absolutely. You can see the front 4 are already locked into the playoffs. Ty Bostic had a great run last race, ended up in 3rd, made a podium, which was good for him, but he is not locked in yet. So those 4 guys up front, they're racing because they want to accumulate as many points as they can going into the playoffs. So these guys, it's not, okay, I won a race, I can coast now. They're not going to do that. They're going to continue running. You see Lucas Whitehead there just dropped. He's going between 10th and 11th. he's locked in. And then Corey Bunch, who was involved in that first incident, he's further back in 18th. But those 6 drivers are making a play to try to get to the front.
Taking a look at the 28 of Joe Musow, he was they're coming out of turn 2 now, but the last time he went through turn 3, last 2 times, he really cut down almost to the rumble strip there and almost lost the car.
Wow.
Yeah, see how low he is? He's below that yellow line, and that is really unsettling that 28.
I think he's trying to get back to the gas, so he wants to give himself as much room to the outside as that car is going to want to go right a little bit under acceleration, and it's a risky move, but it's a move that he thinks is going to work to help him get closer to the front.
All right, back up front, you see the top 4. That's Corey Ennis, Lucas Gortman, Jordan Wenzel, Austin Wheeler, Ty Bostic have they really haven't separated themselves by much, but they've definitely got some gap between them. You can see that between the Corey Ennis and the 5th place car of Ty Bostic, that's over 2 seconds.
Yeah, that's a pretty big gap. It's tough to make up, although it can be done. He's got to try to tuck up to Austin Wheeler there and try to pick up a little bit of a draft off of him.
Or hope that Jacob Musso behind him will tuck up under him and kind of help out.
Give him a little push, yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because it's not like a super speedway where they're running nose to tail all the way around the track. So these guys will get spread out in the corners, and then they try to use that little contact on the wall there from that 2nd place car, I think, of Lucas Gortman. But they'll try to use that draft to draw them up closer to the car in front of them. But they have a lot further to go than they would on one of the super speedway tracks.
That's not the first time that Lucas Gortman has brushed up against that safer barrier tonight. You can only do that so many times to maybe put a little bit of damage on that car.
Yeah. And turn 3 is so easy. See him coming through turn 2 there on that back straight now. And they'll enter into that long
Making
turn
a challenge
3
here.
Yep.
27 went super high, and that allowed the 16 to slip underneath, and now Jordan Wenzel also slips. Corey Ennis just slipped back just a little bit there.
Yeah, it can change so fast here. If you make even the slightest mistake, oh, look at him tuck up under there and give him a push. Yeah, those first 4 cars are separated now. Unfortunately for Ty Bostic, he's still up 10 positions, but he's slipping back a little bit.
A bit of contact with the wall with the 6 with the I think that was Corey Ennis that tagged the wall that time.
Okay. It could be because it's this. Both times when Lucas Gortman was tagging the wall, he was the 2nd place car, and now Corey Ennis is in 2nd.
Man,
he's tagging the wall.
These guys
come out of there.
Go ahead.
They just come out of there and they're tucked up close, and all of a sudden they can lose the front end.
This is a great battle up front amongst these 4 drivers. Look at that move.
Lucas Gortman going down low, trying to break the draft, but Corey Ennis is staying right in his shadow. Now he moves down a little bit to the inside to get that air on his nose.
Austin Wheeler keeps dipping down a little bit, trying to find another way around. But it's Gortman, Ennis, Wetzel, and Wheeler here.
And it's kind of an optical illusion if you look back to Ty Bostic.
27, huge hit in the wall. Big time damage to that 27. He's still maintaining speed, but man, he hit that wall hard.
I was just getting ready to say it was actually an optical image that Ty Bostic was falling back, but he's actually gaining on the car in front of him. Even before that, before Coriolis tagged the wall, because at that one time we were talking about Ty being 2 seconds back. Then he was a second and a half when those cars were running close together, those four up front cars, and Ty was actually making ground on them. But now he's about that same spot now. Coriolis seems to have gathered his car back up and catching up with the front three of Gortman, Wenzel, and Wheeler.
All right, we got 21 laps complete. Now we do have a stage break coming up here. Stage break should be right around lap 26. So just 5 laps away from our stage break. 4 laps to go before our stage break. And at that stage break, competition caution will fly. See, Gortman and Wenzel just taking advantage of that opportunity to grab some clean air and not help out the driver behind them. They dive down.
We've got a few cars now that are lapped down, and it looks like 2 of them pitted to get a little bit of work done possibly, but Austin Walton looks like he went in for a 4-tire stop. He was in the pits for about 15 seconds. He's way back in 26th, but when he won't need to pit, when everybody else pits,
they can stay out.
He may want to stay out at that point. Eddie Massa Jr. is a lap down. Matt Parasini is a lap down. Austin Walton is now 2 laps down, so that made.
Yeah, I'm not quite
may
sure
not
just
be his strategy.
Just how tire wear plays here. We've heard other drivers in other series state that they felt that the wear wasn't as impressive as what they had anticipated. So we'll see how this all plays out.
Yeah.
But just 3 laps to go, 2 laps to go before that competition caution flies. Right now, your leader, Lucas Gortman, out in front with Austin Wheeler, Jordan Wenzel, Coriolis, and Ty Bostic.
And Jordan Booth and Corey Bunch look like they are back out on track again. Jordan Booth 7 laps down, Corey Bunch 8 laps down.
Yeah, I think these leaders will end up catching relatively quickly the 41. They are just entering turn 3, and he just left, and it's just crossing the start-finish line. So he's about half a straightaway ahead of the leaders.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like he's making full speed, so that could shorten that up.
You're on board with Lucas Gortman. Battles tightly against Austin Wheeler in the 48.
Look how this turn, it is exactly like Indianapolis, a little bit shorter of a radius, but still flat turn, but a very fast turn at the same time. So you've got to have a good handling car to get through that one quickly. And now in the middle of turn 3, you'll see when he comes out how close they are to the wall. It's right up next to the wall, and then comes down to the inside wall to try to break that draft. But you can see in his mirror, the car right behind him of Austin Wheeler now is staying right in his tire. Oh, making a move now to the outside in turn 1. Up the inside.
This is the last lap. We got the stage break going on right now, about to start. So this is the last lap. That 48 is wanting that that first position in stage points.
Yep. He's got the advantage of being down to the inside there, but couldn't get quite enough of a push off the corner. There they are in turn 3.
Here we go. Can he do it now? Nope. Looks like Lucas Gortman will win the stage.
And the caution is out on lap 27.
So that's probably pretty close to the stage points there. Gortman, Wheeler, Wenzel, Ennis, Bostic, Musso, Whitehead, Japs, and Lem will all be awarded stage points.
I think we'll see most of the field come in.
Could be some that choose to stay out.
Yes, and some of these guys, I guess they pitted a little further back than I had originally thought. Austin Walton last pitted on lap 14, so he's 13 laps in, which is close to halfway on a fuel run. So I'm guessing that pretty much everybody's going to come in.
Yep, expect to see the whole field on pit road.
That's good news for Jordan Booth in the 41. Remember, he got caught up in that first incident and took that hard hit into the outside safer barrier and was in the pits for quite a while, well over 8 minutes. But he was, you remember, he was in danger of going a lap down to the leaders and was able to last until the stage break. So he'll be able to catch back up to the field again and won't lose yet another lap.
Looks like we have one casualty of that incident, though. The 77 of Corey Bunch has retired.
Okay. Lucas Whitehead right now with Smoky Mountain Motorsports in that 33 Chevrolet. 19 positions he has gained since the start of the race. So I think he started around 27th and he's up to 8th now. That's really, really good. He gained some of that from just being able to miss some of those wrecks and gain some spots there. But I think Lucas has a fairly fast car.
A lot of bumping and banging here as these drivers are making their way down to their pit stalls. Almost everybody's coming in. I think Eddie Musso Jr., Austin Walton, and Corey Bunch stayed out. I'm sorry, Corey Bunch retired. Just 2 cars stayed out. I think Austin Walton had to stay out. I think he's the lap down car.
Yeah, that is correct. Looking at the times, a lot of these guys took 4 tires.
I think everybody.
Yeah, everybody, it looks like. A few guys in there getting some work done still. Christopher Cash in the 69. Jeff Ramsdell in the 97. John Ledger in the 19. Garrett Walden in the 43. Corey Ennis in the 27.
Big winner here is the 48. He came out of the pits first, so that will put him in control of this restart.
Probably another 2 laps and we'll be going back green again. Same group up front. Ty Bostic, I don't know if he made it up on pit road. Well, no, now he shows him back in 5th now. He must have just got a little bit ahead of Jordan Wenzel. So the top 5 are staying pretty close to where they were.
Yep, pretty much so.
Looks like Tony Japs had what appears to be the fastest pit stop with a 14.15.
Just so you're aware, Jeff, Corey Ennis spent some extended time in the pits after that. I'm guessing that contact with the wall had some damage there. But he's coming out. He'll actually be in 22nd position. But
yeah, you're right. He spent about a minute 40 in the pits. So yeah, he had to have some work done. That was more than just a paint scrape on that contact. So that's a big drop for him. He's lost 20 positions now. He and Jordan Booth both. The big losers at this point in the race, dropping 20 spots.
All right, the field is right now about entering into turn 2, and the lights are off, so we'll be going back to green flag racing here. 30 laps complete here in the iNRS highpoint.com 200. This is our Thursday night league, and we've been doing this for a couple of years now. It's just been great it's been our privilege on the IWM Broadcast Network to continue to bring you this league. There's such parity in this league amongst these drivers.
There really is, and you can see it in the results. And we were talking at the pre-race show that we've got what 6 or 7 guys that are locked in right now. So they're spreading the love.
All right. Back under green flag here. Austin Wheeler leads this field into turn 1. Door to door is the 16 of Lucas Cortman. Ty Bostic in row 2. Oh, they're spinning in the back.
Oh, that green car went around.
That's Bradley Reese.
Probably went right straight into the wall. 36 car, yeah.
Doesn't look like he's got a whole lot of damage there. Unfortunately, that brings the caution back out. Not sure. He's got the 30. Oh, got a bump from the 36. I'm sorry, the 96, unfortunately.
Boy, I thought he was going to go head on into the wall, but he was pretty fortunate there.
That's Corey Ennis in the 27. Unfortunately, that kind of straightened him back out. That's the last thing.
He did not need that.
He did not. He did not need that. Not sure if that did anything to the nose of that Ford. Just watching him come by. I don't think so, but you never know. Number of drivers, see the 41 and the 43, both diving off into pit road to continue to get some damages completed. That's Jordan Booth and Garrett Walden diving on a pit road. Well, we're going to have to rack and stack this back up again here. This is our 4th caution. That last one was a competition caution, so 3 official cautions caused by incidents.
It appears that they're more caution prone when the cars are bunched up. We had one caution on lap 1, and then again, I mean, they were under caution for 4 laps. So, and then back out again for about another 2 laps and had a caution on lap 7. And then we had a 20 lap green flag run, which was really nice. Saw some great racing. Cars competitive all the way through the field, and then we had a caution for the stage break, and then we come out and again on lap 1 we're back under caution.
All right,
lap 31 actually, but lap 1 of the restart.
That's right. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back in just a minute or so. Thanks for tuning in to the IWM Broadcast Network.
HDI provides commercial smart security systems, audio-visual solutions, TV mounting and installation, access control, and surveillance systems. In addition, our networking division can provide business networking and Wi-Fi solutions. All these systems can be remotely managed through our ACE HTI applications and cloud-based solutions. Running a business these days is a tough and demanding job. Let the folks at ACE HTI ensure that your place of business is safe for your workers and your company assets. ACE HTI can offer you integrated burglar alarm systems, access control and health, and wellness systems to ensure the safety of your employees and visitors. If you are looking to modernize or purchase a new fire alarm system, look no further than ACE HTI. We can offer you the latest state-of-the-art solutions to keep watch over your business. Does your surveillance system need a refresh? ACE HTI can install the latest 4K surveillance cameras with custom analytics and AI to help you understand what's happening in and around your business. Are you a restaurant or hospitality venue? Does your facility host sporting events? Reach out to ACE HTI for the latest in video displays and audio systems to enhance and define your place of business. ACE HTI service area includes both North and South Carolina. Reach out to us today at 336-941-3171 or via email at info@ace-hti.com.
All right, welcome back to the iNRS HighPoint.com 200 here at Pocono. We're under caution for the fourth time tonight. An incident in the restart of our stage brake caution. Right now, your leader and the control car is Austin Wheeler in the 48, but he's got Lucas Gortman, Jacob Musso, and Ty Bostic right there. That's all the cars in row 1 and 2. See that the 48 of Austin Wheeler has elected to take the outside line as these drivers work their way around into the tunnel turn as they head back to the start-finish line.
In some ways, the outside line surprises me, but in reality, that gives you the best angle going into turn 1. So I understand why he does that. He just needs to make sure he gets a good jump over that 16 Ford of Lucas Gortman so that he has that ability to take that angle from the outside, cut down across the apex, and then drift back up to the outside wall as he comes out of the exit of the corner.
Ty Bostic has got a new paint scheme.
Yeah,
So
he does, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's kind of like a riff on the Bass Pro Shop. I think it's a Carp Pro Shop. All right, pace car is off. And green flag flies here at Pocono.
Good start for Austin Wheeler there, and he did just what we thought he would do. He's up high on the wall and then was able to angle down, cut that corner, and really gives him a jump on the other two guys. And you can see him there trying to break that draft as he goes down the into the corner there.
Little side-by-side action a little farther back in the back. You see right there the 33, the 12. They're door-to-door, too wide here. A lot of drivers continue to slip out, try to disturb the air for the drivers behind. See the 33 of, that's Lucas Whitehead right there to the inside of Jordan Wenzel.
Ty Bostic has been able to gain a spot up into 4th now, but those first 3 cars are kind of pulling away a little bit. Austin Wheeler, Jacob Mossau, and Lucas Gortman. Lucas Gortman actually has the fast lap of the race, 53.390. That's a pretty quick lap. Probably 2 to 3 tenths faster than anybody else on the board right now. So one heck of a lap for Lucas Gortman.
looking on back through the field, there's lots of jockeying for position here as this field begins to stretch out a bit, but still a few instances. That's the 96, I think, of Mike Wheel there. Trying to find a spot for himself. He gets tucked in finally.
Well, and right as I was finishing my commentary on Lucas Gortman's fast lap, Austin Wheeler overtook him with the fastest lap of the race so far, 53.290, a full tenth faster than Lucas Gortman's. So that was a screamer of a lap for Austin Wheeler.
Yeah, he has really separated himself. Let's bring up some stats on. Yeah, he's got almost 3/4 of a second of a gap between himself and Jacob Musso.
Yep, and we're approaching the halfway mark. So these guys took fuel at about lap 28 or so. So that would be 50, a little over 50 laps. So they could make this on
one more stop.
One more stop. Yeah.
Yeah, if they can make it to lap 58, obviously that's going to give them just 22 laps to close out. That's plenty of cushion in there. They could choose to pit a little early too, depending on how things go. If we stay green.
Yeah, with being out front, Austin Wheeler's got the ability, really, probably all three of the first 3 or 4 cars have the ability to really conserve on their right side tires and still keep pretty quick laps going. So that will help them to be able to extend that fuel or full fuel window and be able to keep running quick laps towards as we get closer to the next pit stop.
See Jacob Musso here running in second. Good showing for Jacob there. Behind him, Lucas Gortman. Alta Vista VA. Jordan Wenzel right there. See Jordan in that position multiple times. And then Ty Bostic right there running a different paint scheme like we talked about than he usually does. He qualified in 5th and he's running in 5th.
You can see the whole front of the field now, a long way back, are running pretty much single file. They get out, get into, clean air a little bit on the corners, but straightaways, they're pretty much just running in line right now. Trying to log laps, trying to take advantage of any whiff of a draft they can get.
Looking on back, see Jordan Booth is back out. You can see the repair work has happened on that nose of that 41. That time spent in the pits allowed those the pit fairies to affix a repaired nose onto that 41. Not sure if he's able to make the speed he wants.
His last lap was a 53.7, so that's definitely 8th or 9th place speed. So excuse me, his last lap was a 54.065.
Yep, 54.06.
So that's pretty decent.
Yeah, that's
10th off.
round 11, 10th, 11th.
Yep.
Not terrible.
No, not at all. Not for the kind of impact he had. I thought he was going to be done. Great job getting that car back in, only losing 7 laps. That sounds like a lot, but for the kind of damage he had, he played it pretty smart.
Oh, caution's out. The 38 of Shane Trotter.
He must have made contact with the wall. Otherwise, if he's still moving, they wouldn't have. I don't think they would have thrown the caution if he just slowed down.
I don't see any damage per se, but of course that happens. Let's see what we can see. Oh, there we are. What happened to precipitate that though? Going back a little farther than I anticipated, but there's a lot happening. These guys are all flirting with that yellow line.
Yeah, that must be what it was, because I don't think the 36 made contact with him. I think he just
Little
just
damage.
got down on the apron there. Yeah, a little damage to that right front. He released the brakes there right at the last minute, and that let him drift up into the wall, caused a little bit of damage, but.
Well, we're back under caution here, lap 43. Question is, will we see any takers on pit road now?
Yeah,
maybe
boy,
a
if you
bit
pit
early.
now, you guarantee you have to pit again.
Right. I don't think tires are really a big deal here. At least I haven't been able to tell the difference here quite yet.
Yeah, they don't seem to be falling off too badly. They're about 15 laps or so into this set of tires.
Well, and they
go.
proved me wrong. They're all in.
What do you think? Fuel and left side or fuel and right side?
I think they may be the full Monty.
Wow.
If the entire field is in as it is.
It looks like it, yep. Looks like Austin Walton did not pit. He's the only driver that didn't.
I think Lucas Gortman may have taken right sides only.
Yeah, I think you're right. It looks like everybody else is for and fuel.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I think we'll be able to tell now if right tires is a good call or not. Lucas Gortman and Austin Wheeler have been mixing it up all day long in the front. And now you've got Lucas Gortman on 2 tires and Austin Wheeler on 4, along with Jacob Mossow, Jordan Wenzel, and Ty Bostic in that top 5. So
should be very
we'll see if Lucas is able to hold on to the lead as we get going here.
All right, we'll get restarted somewhere at around lap 46. So that definitely kind of changes up the strategy, at least how we see it. So if you assume we're going to go back 46, and they're not going to use a ton of fuel getting back there, although it is a 2.5 mile track. If you assume they can do 30 laps for sure, that gets you only to lap 73. There may be
Coda
one more
LaRue
stop.
coming back in. That 18 car, he just pitted the second time, it looks like.
Loose wheel?
Could be.
Could be, you never know. He's not back up on the jacks, but yeah, he may have not gotten the fuel. Yeah. So if you're unfamiliar with iRacing, you have the ability to select what you want to have what service you want to have done to your vehicle. So that could be automated, where you just push a button and boom, you get tires and you get fuel. But sometimes you make a mistake.
Yep. It's easy to forget to check a box or think you checked it when you actually didn't. But he's back out there again, had about a 15-second stop, so I'm guessing it was fuel.
All right. Unfortunately, track position is key here, and that's going to regulate that number 18 all the way back in 24th position. All right, we're about to get this back to restart right now. See the pace car will drop off any moment. Lucas Gortman is on the outside, and he will restart this field. All right, green flag flies. Oh, good jump on the inside by the 48 of Austin Wheeler. That has negated any advantage that the 16 may have had.
Yeah. I don't know if he had a little bit of tire spin or didn't get quite the launch but now he's whatever happened, he's made it back up and he's back out front again. And pulling away already almost a third of a second.
That's amazing. 2-tire stop.
Yeah. Ooh, and Austin Wheeler dropping back. He's back to 4th now.
Whoa, Ty Bostic. Oh. All right, Ty Bostic is experiencing some connection issues. He's currently sitting in 7th. Oh, big slam.
Yeah, 16 again. He just loves kissing that outside wall coming off of turn 3.
I think the 33 also, Lucas Whitehead, was in that safer barrier as well.
Sometimes you're following the guy in front of you so close. When he goes into it, you're following him right in.
Yeah, you're on the same. You're driving in his tracks. You know, you're going to go there no matter what. I have made that mistake more than I care to remember.
Yeah, absolutely. Jordan Wenzel was making a run on him. Looks like he trying it again. He tried going down to the inside there in turn 1.
See the 33 cutting underneath.
Yeah, Lucas Whitehead made up a lot of ground.
Maybe slimming that safer barrier just wasn't as bad as we think it is.
Yeah.
Lucas, 30. Save it.
Wow,
he does save it.
What a save.
That was Jordan Wenzel dirt tracking through that corner.
Yeah, it cost him a few spots. He dropped back to 7th, or 8th now, but that's a lot better than what it looked like was going to be.
Well, there were 3 wide there for a while with the 55 of Vince Burns and Ty Bostic there making a Wenzel sandwich. A little bump
Lucas
from behind. 55 just tagged the 81.
Ooh. Lucas Whitehead in that 33, if you remember a while back, we were talking about him. He had dropped quite a ways back and has made up all that ground. He's at one point he was our big leader with 20 spots. Now he's 25 spots that he's gained and running pretty quick laps, and now finds himself in 2nd position. So he's doing it the hard way. He's earning it.
Yeah, he was actually back in the last, on the grid, he was in the last row.
Yeah. He's trying to do a Daniel Suarez in the Xfinity race. Start last, finish first.
All right, 50 laps are complete, just 30 to go here. Oh, caution flies again.
Oh boy. Lap 50.
It's like the 36 of Bradley Reese has gone around again. Oh, let's
Did
back
he
that
have
up.
help there?
Well, I think it may have been a little bit of net code. I think that's Corey Bunch. Let's back that up. So it's 27 and the 41. That's Corey Ennis and Jordan Booth. Jordan runs to the high side. 27 is down below. I think it's a little bit of net code, actually.
Yeah, it was net code. You could see the 36 started coming down, and that what number is that purple car? Was that 27?
27.
Yeah, he couldn't. He tried to turn down to get out of the way. Poor Jordan Booth got more front end damage there. Poor guy can't win tonight.
36 sustains.
Yeah, I think you're right, Rick. That was a little bit of net code, but the 36 definitely did come down on the 27. 27 tried to get out of the way, but the computer said, "Oh no, I think they're going to hit."
Mm-hmm. All right,
See,
so the
36
field is
headed down pit road.
Field is caught up to the pace car. And with that, we're going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back. Thanks for tuning in to the IWM broadcast of the iNRS highpoint.com 200. We'll be right back.
Athletic Training Solutions specializes in on-site health and wellness programs for industrial athletes. We focus on the treatment and management of work-related injury and illness, as well as employee health and wellness. As one of the leading providers of occupational health services, we serve businesses of all sizes and types. Our experienced, certified athletic trainers work with each client organization to minimize employee disability, promote employee health and wellness, and help to control healthcare costs. We work with a network of doctors that are trained with an understanding of OSHA recordables and the first aid treatment approach to help keep your employees at work.
All right, welcome back. As you can see, the entire field, almost the entire field, chose to come down onto pit road. Lucas Gortman gets off first with another two-tire stop.
Jeff Ramsdell stayed out in that number 97 Ford. He last pitted on lap 43, so he only had 6 or 7 laps on his tires. Had only used 6 or 7 laps of fuel. So my guess is he is decided to stay out and hope there's another caution coming up soon, because these guys now have enough fuel to get to the end, just barely. I don't know if they have enough for a green-white checker, but
be close.
They do have enough to finish.
Just anecdotally looking at the last round of pit stops, the majority of the field came down, took fuel and right side tires. Jacob Musso did a full four-way tire stop. Eric Jeffers as well, Ty Bostic. But again, about half the field elected for a 2-tire stop, and the balance a 4-tire stop.
Yep, we probably won't see a big difference in cars in the first half of this run, but if it goes green to the end, those guys that took 4 are in the catbird seat, because the left side tires are going to start to wear pretty heavily on those cars that did not take left side. And 4 tires is always better than 2. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way, but
we shall see. So that puts Jeff Ramsdell. He's elected to take the inside starting position on this restart. He'll be the control car in that 97 Ford. Lights are off on the pace car. He will have Lucas Gortman to his outside. He finds himself in a different position for tonight. He has not been up front as of yet, but with that, he's elected to stay out, and here he is up front.
Yeah, it looks like Jacob Mossau is the first car on 4 tires, but then they do start stacking up behind him. Eric Jeffers, Scott Thomas. No, I'm not sure on Scott. He may have only taken 2, but Ty Bostic there with 4 tires. Jordan Wenzel, 4 tires. Joe Mossau, Ron Fitting, Corey Ennis, Tony Jabs, Michael Whitley Jr., all taking 4 tires on that last stop. So those guys should be in pretty decent position if there's not another caution. If another caution comes out as we go back to green,
good jump.
It's all bets are off. Yeah, great jump. But those guys are catching up to him pretty quickly.
Yeah, he moves up high, try to
yeah.
keep the Lions at bay. Not sure it's going to play. If you're in that position as Jeff Ramsdale is, you just got to drive your race here.
Well, it got dicey back there around 3rd and 4th. Austin Wheeler found himself pretty tight with a couple of the cars around him. Great driving by those guys to make it through that first turn. I thought we were going to have another quick caution.
A contact there, I think, with the 33 and the 97. That's what it looked like.
Yeah, that dropped Lucas Whitehead back a little bit.
Now a drag race between the 97 and the 16. '97 able to kind of hold on to that, but the 16 noses in and takes over the lead.
And that didn't take long for Lucas Gortman to find his way back up there to the front.
Nope, about a lap.
Tyler Lem up there in the top 5. I think that's the first time tonight that we've seen him break into that top 5. He's always been up in the top 10, but he's making a little progress now.
Jordan Booth has officially retired. Ooh, a contact there. Not sure you caught that. That was back here. Right here, we're 3 wide here. Watching the 22, the 25, the 24, and the 79 of Scott Thomas. Here we're 3 wide.
There's some close racing back there.
Yeah, there is.
And that's not that far back. Some of those guys are in the top 10.
Yeah, and Eric Jeffers is in the 12 is in 7th. Bostic in the 22 is 8th. Jacob Musso 9th, and Scott Thomas in 10th.
Lucas Gortman pulling out a little bit. He's got a 0.3 of a second lead over Lucas Whitehead. And 0.75 of a second over 3rd place Austin Wheeler. So top 2 guys are pulling out just a little bit. Lucas Whitehead just turned the fast lap of the race, 53.250. So he's doing his best to catch back up to Lucas Gortman.
Yeah, he's right there on his tail. That has certainly helped him get a sniff of that draft a little bit. That certainly helped to get that fast time.
Yeah, he loses a little bit in the corners and then tries to make it up on the straightaway. coming out of turn 3 onto this long straight. You can see him dive down to the left to try to stay behind that lead car and keep as much of that draft as he can. And he gained probably a 10th on him there on that straightaway. So that's good news for Lucas Whitehead.
He's trying to maintain that, but Lucas Corbin just got a plan. You can see he's definitely helping to break up that air and leverage that as he makes his way around this track.
So these guys coming into turn 3 now. Again, this is where they've got to get through this corner good, because it sets them up for that long run down the straightaway. Well, that time Lucas Whitehead stayed with the outside line and dropped back a little bit as a result of that. See a little bit more distance between those two cars now.
A couple newer names up in the top 10. You've got Vince Burns in 5th. Jeff Ramsell has slipped to 6th. Eric Jeffers up to 7th. Bostic to 8th. Jacob Musso to 9th. And Scott Thomas, well, he was in 10th. He's now slipped to 11th. Jordan Wenzel fights his way back up into the top 10.
Looks like about the top 5 have settled in. They're running pretty consistent lap times, staying consistent in their distance with each other. Lucas Gortman does have a pretty good jump right now. He's out in front by over half a second now.
See Bradley Reese in that green 36 from that last incident is still in the pits now, trying to get that car repaired. He's been in there for about 10 minutes trying to get that car back out on the track. Not really sure how much of a difference it'll make for him. Oh, and you know what? He's back out on the track.
Lucas Whitehead made up some ground on Lucas Gortman there, but then somehow fell back again in turn 1. But
Gortman's getting just these incredible runs.
Yeah.
Let's go on board with the 16.
You can see him hitting the red light on his RPM coming down that front straightaway.
He's in 4th gear.
And doesn't shift, does he, through there?
He holds it.
Just shift in the straightaway, and that's it.
Yep. A lot more torque staying in 4th gear. Then he'll shift here on the front stretch back down to 4 as he enters 1.
Yeah, boy, not in 5th gear very long. And Lucas Whitehead made up ground on that straightaway, and then loses a little bit of it in the corner, but not too bad according to the stopwatch.
Just 19 laps to go here at Pocono in the iNRS HighPoint.com 200.
That short flat turn 2 we saw, and now we see him setting up for turn 3. Gets right down there on the yellow line, and he'll let it push up to the wall, getting very, very close to the wall coming out, and tries to break that draft by moving over to the left and to the center. And Whitehead doesn't follow him this time either. Looks like he's maybe feels like he's getting enough of a push off the car behind him.
Yep, that's the 48 of Austin Wheeler, now up to 3rd.
Yeah, that time, yeah, Lucas Whitehead lost ground in turn 1.
Yeah, I don't
You
know
can,
just exactly how much it helps. My feeling is that if the car behind you is tucked up too close to you, it's actually going to cause a little bit of less contact with the track, and you're going to actually lose ground.
that could be.
You know, the iRacing released the latest update, and it really had a lot of aerodynamic changes that have affected this car. I mean, in a positive way, it tries to recreate reality, what's on the track. So as they tweak this, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah. One of the things we haven't talked about is the updates to the track. It's been a few years anyway since they've updated Pocono, I think. But in paying attention to NASCAR radio this week, you've heard a lot of drivers talking about how the bumps in turn 2 have gotten a lot worse over the last couple years. And these cars aren't affected by that here because the tracks, when they're originally scanned, I mean, they're down to, fractions of an inch of being exactly like the track, but they don't weather as much, and they don't the topography. So if a bump in turn 2 grows in real life, it's not going to grow in iRacing until they rescan the track at some point in time. So these cars aren't as affected as much, but that'll be something interesting to watch on Sunday when the Cup cars are running, because they'll get a little light in the back end going through the bumps there. They'll get a little light on both ends.
Yeah. I know they have updated some of the graphics. You'll see some of the banners and the billboards have all been kind of updated recently. So this was one of the tracks that were picked for some adjustments.
Lucas Whitehead tucked in behind him that time. Stayed right up as close to the 16 of Gortman as he could, and only between 2 and 3/10 behind now, a couple car lengths.
15 laps to go here at Pocono. See, the 33 of Lucas Whitehead said, I'm just going to follow him this time, and we'll see if that actually helped.
Yeah.
And we're seeing about 3.5 tenths back.
Coming through that long turn 3. Not much banking there. Well, now he's down on the inside on his own in that number 16. You can bet that the cars that are just behind that 16 of Lucas Gortman, these guys, their minds are working as hard as their hands and feet right now. They're thinking, okay, where am I faster than him? Where can I find an advantage? What can I do differently than what I'm doing right now? Driving is as much mental as it is physical, and that's where you see the guys that are consistently running up front. They've got the mental edge, and they're able to think ahead of where they are right at the moment and think of where they want to be going.
So that pack of 4, Gortman, Whitehead, Wheeler, and Lem, have kind of stretched out. We've got a little bit of a gap over Vince Burns, and then even more so over the 12 of Eric Jeffers. As laps begin to tick away.
13 to go right now. We're getting down to the wire, and they're spread out enough that we may not have another caution.
Oh, you said that word again.
Yeah, I gotta learn. And Jeff Ramsdale, though, so far his strategy was working out. He stayed out, although he is going to have to pit again, I would think. He's up in 8th. If we get a late caution, that could help him.
Yeah, he last pitted on lap 43. He I don't know if he's saving fuel. We can go on board with Jeff Ramsdell and see if he's in fuel saving mode. I would think not. That's not fuel saving.
Yeah.
And we say that because we're watching the driver. He's forced to downshift. This is that 2.5 mile track. You know, it's easier to save if you're on a high banked oval. This is a flat oval here with very little banking, and you know, you can't really hide and fuel save.
No. $11 to go, and Lucas Gortman's still hanging on to about the same lead. Lucas Whitehead is up there about 2.5 tenths, 3 tenths, 3.5 tenths behind, and just can't seem to break that bubble. You know he's trying with everything that he's got. He's not going to be stupid and overdrive the car and risk wrecking it and falling out of the top 3 or 4 there. But right now running in second, and he's going to do everything he can safely to try to get by Lucas Gortman, our leader. Looking back towards the back, I think John Ledger in the 19 car is now a lap down. I'm thinking that he was involved in one of those early incidents.
He was.
And if you look
I think it was. We had those last two incidents with the 36, but before that, we had an incident with about 7 or 8 drivers, and unfortunately, he was caught up in that.
Yeah, and he incurred some damage, tried to get it worked on, and I think he is somehow just got his lap back.
No,
maybe timing is. Oh no, now it's back out again.
Yeah.
So that's timing and scoring jumping around on me.
Yep.
But his lap times are a little down, but really not bad. He's in that 13th to 18th spot, but finds himself a lap down without a caution. There's no way to get that back.
Yeah. Well,
So,
he's in the lucky dog position that if a caution does fly, he will get his lap back.
Yeah, Garrett Walden, the last car on the lead lap. Lucas Gortman has squeaked out another 0.5 tenth over Lucas Whitehead.
Yeah, I don't see any fall off happening here with just 8 laps to go here.
Right. Yeah, and all these guys in the top 5 are running fairly close, within 3 tenths of each other on lap times, and really Lucas Gortman in the lead, even with a 2-tire stop, he's only a 0.5 second off his best time of the race. So not much fall off at all. Looks like 2 tires was a good bet for these guys.
So they are running up a bit on the 25. I think that's the 26, sorry, of Eddie Musso Jr. They've got about a 2-second per lap advantage. Depending on where they catch him, that may be the only opportunity for those, trying to hunt down the leader to get into lap traffic. Because after they cross Eddie, there's no lap traffic.
Yeah, you can bet that's what Lucas Whitehead and Austin Wheeler are looking towards. When are we going to hit lap traffic? And
not in 7 laps.
Are we going to do it in time? Yeah, 7 laps to go. Probably not likely.
Yeah, Eddie Musso's last lap was a 55.93. The leaders are running a 53.72, so just over 2 seconds. So they'll catch him soon enough, but in fact, they're going to catch him now. Catch coming into, maybe it's out of exit. Just saw the indication that Jeff Ramsdell is pitting with 6 laps to go. He had no choice. And with that, the 26 of Eddie Musso has gone into the pit, so that removes that lapped car from in front of the 16. So with just 6 laps to go, he's got a clean track.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one now for Lucas Whitehead. I don't think with only 6 laps go, I don't think he's holding anything in reserve. I think he's still that same. Now he's actually dropped another half a tenth distance between the two Lucases there in first and second.
Caution flies.
Oh, no.
Oh, my gosh. That's Tony Japs, 42, involved in an incident. Not sure what happened to the 42, but definitely looks like he's got some damage to that car. Well, with 5 to go, things have just changed.
Boy, and Jeff Ramsdell is kicking himself right now. I don't know if he waited till the very last lap that he could, but he went in about a lap too early.
Let's see what happened with the 42. Oh, again, we're not catching that. And
looks like he just pushed up to the wall on the exit. Oh, got below the yellow line, got unsettled a little bit. You can see the back end wanting to come around on him and right up into the wall. I'm kind of surprised they flew. Oh, there's why they throw the caution. Yeah, that makes sense now. Oh my,
I think that was
close.
96 of Mike Wheel, who just found a little gap and slipped through it.
The 42 is changing tires, and Mike Wheel's changing his driver's suit, I think.
All right, everybody is on pit road. No, not everybody. Jordan Wenzel stays out.
Whoa, okay.
And since Jeff Ramsdell now is able to find his way back up to the front because he was able to work that out.
Yep. So it didn't work out bad for Jeff Ramsdell at all. He actually gained some spots.
Yeah, he's going to start
coming out where it did.
He's going to start on the front row on this restart with just a handful of laps to go. Jeff
Scortman out.
Yesterday, Jeff Ramsdell, our apologies. You made the smart move.
And Lucas Whitehead, 4 tires and fuel, and came out 8th. So that was not a good turn of events for him. Lucas Gortman back out, was the first car that pitted to come back out, so he comes back out in 3rd, and looks like only 2 tires stopped for him. Probably took a little bit of fuel while he was there. Make it through a green-white checker in case he needs to. But so this is interesting.
The good drivers find a way to win.
Yep. Jordan Wenzel finds himself in first position. He'll have control of the restart,
but he will be on 24 old lap tires.
That's gonna make it tough. We'll let's see what we'll go back with 3 to go, maybe.
It's 3 to go now.
Yeah,
2 to
crossing
go.
right there.
So we'll catch the green flag with 2 to go.
2 to go. Yep. So,
Well,
it's gonna
3 to
be
go.
tough.
Big green white checker.
Yeah, be tough for Jordan Wenzel to hang on. Jeff Ramsdell didn't hold on to the lead long when he had it last time when he didn't pit.
But now he's
So-
got fresh tires and fuel,
Yeah.
so he's ready to go.
That's true. He is.
So looking
Tyler
at the
Lem's
board,
been coming on. This is going to be a race right down to the wire because you've got those two, and up at the front, Jordan Wenzel and Jeff Ramsdell, that have a slight disadvantage, different for each of them. But then you got Tyler Lem and Lucas Gortman in the second row, and Lucas Gortman's been running fast all night long. Tyler Lem's been coming on strong towards the end and has really always been fast. He's always been in the top 10. So this is going to come down to it. And then you got Austin Wheeler in 5th, and he's got 4 tires.
Both of those guys, Jeff Ramsdell and Tyler Lem, are looking for a win. So,
yep.
Very interesting. All right, folks, this is a green and white checker coming down to the end here of this race. We are focusing on this restart.
And it's going to be a doozy. I'm not going to say it. I don't want to cause it. Everybody's going to be trying to get position going into turn 1. This will be interesting. Pace car's off.
Green flag flies.
Good jump by Jordan Wenzel.
97 kind of takes that good position and tucks it behind the 81. Here's where the action is. Lots going on behind them.
Austin Wheeler almost making contact a couple times there. See these guys trying to break the draft. Lucas Gortman.
Oh, contact.
Ooh. Lucas Gortman back to 4th as soon as I say that. Tyler Lem is not to be left out on this. He is making a charge.
White flag flies. Last lap of the race. No caution can change. Jordan Wenzel is out there in front. Jeff Ramsdell's trying to catch back up, but man, he has got himself a good gap of nearly half a second over second place.
Yeah, Jordan Wenzel's making a liar out of me. He got a great jump and then just stretched it out from there. And he's still pulling away. He's gained a 10th just in the last 15, 20 seconds.
I don't think anything can stop Jordan Wenzel from winning another race here in the iNRS Racing Series.
This looks like it's going to be a great finish as well for Jeff Ramsdell. He's got a good cushion between himself and Tyler Lem. A little bit tighter between Tyler and Lucas Gortman. And then very, very close to Austin Wheeler in 5th. He's only 7/100ths of a second. So that's the big battle now, 4th and 5th.
Yep, so Jordan Wenzel wins here at Pocono. Jeff Ramsdell in 2nd. Tyler Lem in 3rd. We'll watch these guys make it around, but great racing tonight here on the Tricky Triangle.
Really exciting race. Those cautions came at times where it let strategy enter into it, and you saw Jordan Wenzel's the winner of the race. He's also the winner of strategy because everybody came in except Jordan Wenzel. He stayed out and ran on old tires and still beat everybody by 0.4 of a second. So great run for Jordan Wenzel, and Jeff Ramsdell and Tyler Lem also rounded out the podium finish.
There you have it. There you've got your podium finish there with Wenzel, Ramsdell, and Tyler Lem.
Guys having a little bit of fun there at the start-finish line.
And with that, we'll bring up the results as these guys play. All right, there you have it. Jordan Wenzel is your winner. Jeff Ramsdell in second. Tyler Lem in third. Lucas Gortman in fourth. Austin Wheeler in fifth. Corey Ennis in sixth. Lucas Whitehead in seventh. Eric Jeffers in eighth. Jacob Musso in ninth. And Matt Pericini is in 10th.
Ty Bostic follows him in 11th, Ron Fitting in 12th, Vince Burns 13th, Michael Whitley Jr. 14th, Austin Alton 15th, Joe Mosso in 16th, and Scott Thomas is in 17th. 18th is Mike Wheel, 19th Christopher Cash, and 20th is Garrett Walden.
Dakota LaRue finishes in 21st, 22nd, John Ledger, Shane Trotter 23rd, Tony Japs 24th, Eddie Musso Jr. 25th, and Bradley Reese 26th, Jordan Booth in 27th. All right, that closes out the, and Corey Bunch in 28th. That finishes our results for tonight's event. And as soon as we have drivers, we've got a bunch of drivers already here in the booth. Let's go ahead and bring in Tyler Lem. All right, there he is. Tyler, congratulations on your third place finish.
Thanks. It's been a little while since I talked to y'all. I was starting to worry. I forgot the way here.
No, we figured
you made a real strong push at the end there, Tyler. What did something change with the track or the car, or I mean, you're never out of it. You were always in that top 10, but it seemed like there after that next to the last caution, you just started really making inroads.
Oh, the clean air in this car makes so much of a difference. And after that lap one spin sent me damn near to the back of the field, I don't know, just the difference in car with that much fresh air in the nose was enough to make it a rocket ship.
Well, it clearly paid off. This was a unusual race with the way the cautions fell during the latter half of the race, but you certainly took advantage of that.
Oh yeah, I went 2 tires, and I think the last 2 or 3 stops, me and Lucas both. And shout out my team, all four of us, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm proud of these guys. I love to see it.
Well, again, congratulations. Any other shout outs besides your team?
Shout out my family, shout out my friends. Love you all, my most loyal supporters.
There you go. All right, that's
awesome.
Tyler Lem finishing in third. And with that, let's bring in Jeff Ramsdell. I don't think we've spoken yet so far to Jeff Ramsdell. Jeff, congratulations. And you know what? We have all in the booth here. We said, oh, no, he's come in at the wrong time. The caution's flown. It's not going to work out. And you made us eat our words.
That was the only strategy I could think of to make it. The fuel strategy worked last night in the Xfinity race, but today I was like, I just got to hope for a caution, and I was just going to come in, take 4, and see if a caution does come out to flip up. But I came out of the pits and caution came out, and I could pass the whole field, and I got the track position I needed. That's key at this track. These cars are a handful, as you can see.
Oh yeah, no, it really paid off.
Well, you were on your own strategy all night long because you didn't pit much earlier in the race and were able to get yourself up to the lead, and then able to, even on old tires, able to hang around up there. How was the car handling tonight, and did the old tires cause you any problems?
So being in the back, the car handled like crap. I had that damage in the beginning of the race. I had almost 2.5 minutes of damage. But once you get to the front, it's a different driving car. I had older tires. The dirty air is big here. I can hold them back, but I can only hold them back for so long. I was racing them hard, but I wasn't going to race them dirty. So if they got underneath me and got me clear, I wasn't going to do anything dirty to them, and I didn't. But now the caution and the strategy worked out perfect. I was hoping for a win, but Jordan was really happy to get a win. He wanted to get a win on an oval, but he still hasn't won on an oval. This is a triangle, so.
Well, congratulations. Any shout outs tonight?
Yeah, I got to thank my wife for all she does for letting me race in the basement here, and you guys for broadcasting. My teammates Tyler, Jordan, Lucas, all all them, they're good. Keith, Matthew, Joe on the other side of the team. But it was good to get a podium up here and talk with you guys. I didn't think I was going to talk with you guys this year, but
Here you are.
being a rookie here, so and here I am. So, but it's good.
All right, congratulations. That's your second place finisher, Jeff Ramsdale.
Thank you,
here
guys.
at Pocono. You got it. And with that, let's bring in your winner tonight, Jordan. Wenzel makes it. Jordan, congratulations on your win here at the Tricky Triangle.
Well, thank you. I didn't expect it. This was definitely one of those times where better to be lucky than good.
Well, it certainly paid off.
Yeah, that caution coming out, I was thinking to myself during that, the dirty air has been miserable all night. So I'm like, you know what? Let's see if the tires would actually hold up for those couple laps. And the dirty air was just enough to keep Jeff and Tyler and everybody behind me. And oh man, this is awesome. This is the first oval win of the year. So I actually have one that's being shown off.
I think Jeff Ramsdale wanted us to remind you that it's not quite an oval, so it doesn't count as an oval, but you know.
Well, Jeff got his win yesterday in Xfinity. I'm going to take what I can get here.
Jordan, you're talking about those old tires, if they would hold up or not. Here's something really interesting. I just noticed this. Your last lap, the very last lap of the race, you were only 8/100ths off of your best lap.
Yeah,
so
I'm not sure
that's amazing.
I'm not sure with this new tire model how much the tires affect it, but like it felt like once we got under those caution laps and the tires cooled off that I could just drive the way I did earlier in the stage. But I don't know if that's just a bug that they've got or tires are just that good now.
You had clean air on those last few laps too, so that had to help a little bit. But I'm still amazed at 8/100ths of a second difference. That's pretty darn good. So great strategy move tonight.
Yeah, it was. Everybody was going in, and I'm like, I've got two wins already as far as COTA and Road America. So I was thinking, what am I going to lose here if I don't get it? And it happened to work in my favor there.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on your win. Any shout outs tonight?
Well, I got to shout out all of IRFK 1, 2, 3, 4, baby. And then I got shout out like all my friends like Corey Enos, all the guys that are in this league, the Full Throttle Motorsports guys. And then you guys for putting this on, Scott and Thomas for doing Scott Thomas and Josh Douglas for putting on the entire league. Man, I'm just happy that I was able to win turning left.
No, that's awesome. Congratulations again on your win, and there you have it. Jeff, any parting words or thoughts on this?
It was an interesting night tonight because we saw Jordan Wenzel win, turning left the whole race, so that was great. But then we had some tough breaks too. We saw Jordan Booth get caught up in an accident early on. Corey Bunch. Yeah, just several guys, as you look back through John Ledger, Eddie Mossow, that normally run much closer to the front and just got caught up tonight in most cases somebody else's bad luck. And just not a good night for them, but really good night for the front runners. And I thought it was a great race.
Absolutely. All right, so from all of us here at the IWM Broadcast Network and tonight's studio here at Pocono, we thank those of you who have tuned in live and who may join us in replay. Next week, where are we, Jeff? Next week we are
Atlanta.
We are at Atlanta. That's correct.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we're at Atlanta, and I think we'll have to double check on spot. I believe this is a 988 sponsored event. We'll go back and double check that, but tune in next Thursday night for the iNRS Racing Series at Atlanta. We hope to see you all there. And from Jeff and myself, we thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Good night, folks.